Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today with a post-completion review and to share my thoughts about the first Heaven and Earth design project that I did. Now, let me say, I bought these all a while ago. I'm pretty sure I bought the canvases in 2021, and I'm pretty sure I bought the drills that same year. So it's a Heaven and Earth design crown jewel canvas called Pegasus and the Muses. And I've forgotten who the artist is by, but anyway, I'll stick a picture of it over there. So it had 90 colors, and you can see here I cut off the side where it had all of the DMC codes and the symbols. Now on the canvas, the symbols here just show in black and white, but on the canvas, they were actually all colored in. However, yeah, let me save the canvas. Let me start with the drills because I'm going to do all these and then I'm going to get these done. Okay, so like I said, I bought these back in 2021. My stickers I made from the sheets. No, I think it came with sticker sheets. That's why they're all black and white. I ordered drills from Jaded Gem Shop. And I got to say, again, I bought these in 2021. They're resin drills, which they were, I could tell because of the holes and the concave and all of that. However, they were not great. All of these empty bottles you see here are because I ran out of this many colors. 17 colors, and I ran out of them. So thank goodness I had spares, and I was able to complete the canvas with my spares. Now, I don't know exactly how many of each drill I was short. It was my understanding that there would be an extra, 10% of drills in each color, just in case they were very, trashy, so that I had enough to complete. They were trashy, and I did not have enough. I ran out of 310. Yeah, just 17 different colors that I ran out of. And some I may have only needed 1 or 2 to finish. Some I needed way more than that. But just super frustrating to pay. I think I paid $150+ for the drills and then to run out of that many colors. Now, could I have gone back and said, hey, I didn't have enough of these? Possibly, but I wanted to just get this canvas done. And I had spares, so I used my spares. It's all good. So 17 colors that I ran out of. This kit had 90 colors total. So I've got a 60 bottle case here and a 30 bottle case here. These are all the colors that I pulled out because those were the colors I ran out of. I am not going to save any of these drills, even though they're resin. There was, and let me just show you, a bunch of trash. Misshapen ones. So many of them had tabs on them, holes in them, not fully formed ones, big pieces like this that you can see, ones that were stuck together, just you name it. Name a problem that comes with diamond painting, and I pretty much had it with this kit. I guess this was my Murphy's Law kit. So the drills were trashy. I ran out of a bunch of colors. That's just for the drills. Wait until I get to the canvas. So yeah, just an inordinate amount of trash, in my opinion. And so many of them tabs. And then the drills that I did use were also not great, not a consistent size, lots and lots of gapping, and just not a very pleasant overall experience for me. So that's the drills. Okay, so like I said, this was the symbol sheet here, and all of these different symbols, some of which are super hard to see because of the color they used. Like for instance, this symbol here, let me find it. I think that's one of the colors I ran out of. Yeah. So it's like a little target symbol. I don't know if you guys can see that. I hope you can see it. It's like a little target bullseye thing, but it was a brown color. And when you put that on a brown color, because the canvas was printed in color, it's nearly impossible to see. This black 8 was like a very, very dark brown. That was really hard to see. 3371, that one wasn't too bad. And black was actually just a black square, which you'd think would be pretty easy to see, but honestly, the canvas was so dark, it was hard to tell sometimes. Let me get the trash and all of the drills out of the way here, and I will be right back with my thoughts on the canvas. Don't go anywhere. Okay guys, I think it's mostly on there. There's still some more of it hanging off down here on the end, and this probably translates much better on canvas than it does in real life. So I talked about the symbols, especially this section up here, which is where I started, and I'm glad I did because it was probably the worst section. The colors were all so dark that it was nearly impossible to see all the symbols without a light pad. And even then, it was not easy. Lots of dark browns, dark greens, blacks, yeah, and a ton of confetti, which it's not the confetti that I minded, but yeah, so I started up here. Kind of this row here was where it sat forever that I had done. So I had like part of this lady done. So it's Pegasus and the three muses, and I should know their names, but I don't. So I still think, even at this size, it is super pixelated. It does not look like I wanted it to look. There's a bunch of gapping in all of these white drills, which I considered going in and doing the mica powder trick to try and fill in some of those gaps. And I finally decided that it wasn't worth it to me because I don't like this canvas enough that would frame it and hang it up anyway. I'm chalking this one up to a learning experience. So the drills weren't great. I ran out of a bunch of colors, lots of tabs, gapping issues. Then the canvas, the symbols were very hard to read. There were several places, and I'm trying to be really careful with it, there were several places where the glue did not seem very sticky, and I had a really hard time getting the drills to stick. And I've gone over it a couple of times with my rolling pin just to make sure that everything is kind of stay where it's supposed to. But even from far away, and I'll try to throw in some B-roll and some photos as I'm talking to kind of show you guys what I mean, even from far away, there are things that I just don't think look good. The gapping and everything bothers me. That's more of a drill problem. The biggest thing that bothers me is this section here on the Pegasus. So I think on the gold part, it came out really well and looks like feathers. And the back of this wing on the other side, I think those look okay. This section here, which should look like white feathers, is just kind of this big blobby mess, in my opinion. I don't know, I don't even know what it's supposed to look like, but it doesn't look like feathers. Yeah, there's just so much confetti, it just kind of turns blobby. And some of that is because, you know, I'm up close to it and I understand that, but I think my favorite part of the whole canvas is this little section right up here where the little flowers are kind of drooping over his wings, in front of his wings, or the one wing anyway, and I think that looks really nice. I think the horse's head turned out okay, except for the little bit of gapping. Not super thrilled with the faces of any of the muses, but again, I think that's because it's just, even as large as this is, I think it probably could be larger, maybe another 2 inches on each side, then maybe it would look good, because I just think it's still too pixelated. And my husband agreed with me when he looked at it. And then the other things that I don't like, so we've got this lovely lady in blue. When I first did her arm, I was like, I don't know if I like this color scheme. It seems very orange. From a distance, it's okay, but when you get up close, it is super kind of orangey and red, and it just doesn't look good. And then here on the sleeves of this one, it's almost like it's supposed to look like polka dots, but I don't think that's what it was supposed to look like. And even if it is, it looks a bit weird. So don't like the skin colors, and especially the skin colors here. The skin colors here on her legs. So I know they're kind of supposed to be in shadow, but I just think they look weird. Again, from a little distance, and possibly, you know, you guys looking at it in the camera maybe won't be able to tell the difference, or maybe it looks good in the camera lens, but yeah, in person it really doesn't. And then the water, they're supposed to be standing in this water, so I get the reflection here of the blue dress, and then, you know, the lady here with her kind of purpley rose dress, and then the unicorn here, or Pegasus. But then when you get back here and you get back to the section where, you know, it's the back of the Pegasus, the water turns this weird kind of orangey red color. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I guess if it's supposed to be in shadow, but then you would think it would be like a dark blue. So it just looks odd. And again, very confetti heavy. So, you know, the rocks and everything end up being very confetti heavy too, which is okay. It's not that I minded the confetti, but confetti like this, when you have not great drills, was not a ton of fun. And then you add in, it was hard to see the symbols, and the glue wasn't sticky enough in some places. And yeah, the only satisfaction that I get from this kit is that I finished it, honestly. I'm happy that it's done because now it's off my diamond painting table. And I'm happy with myself that I forced myself to push through it. However, I am not happy with the amount of money that I spent on it for not consistently great materials. I put almost 90 hours into this. And again, while I'm happy that I pushed myself to get through it, there are just so many things that were frustrating with it. Now, I think as I get further away from it, because it's already been I'm filming this not even a day after I finished it. Yeah, as I get further away from it, I'm a little less frustrated with it, but even as my frustration lessens, this is not going to be something that I'm going to frame and hang up. This is definitely just going to go in my portfolio, and honestly, I considered just trashing it even after I was done with it, because I'm just not happy with the way it turned out. I really like the image. I have a thing for Greek mythology and stuff like that. And so I was really excited to see this image and to get to do this one. But now I'm wondering what I want to do with my other two Heaven and Earth designs. They are completely different images. One is about this same size, and it is a mermaid by Alina Lazareva. And I really love the image. And after doing this big chunky section here with all of the dark colors, I went and looked at the canvas. The mermaid is sitting on a rock, and there are some very dark colors in that rock, but that's just kind of like the bottom, maybe 1/8 of the canvas. The rest of it is water and everything, and while the water is dark, it is not dark browns and blacks. So I think I would be okay. That one I have kitted up to do from my spare drills. When I ran out of colors here, I went and pulled from my spare drills, and I often pulled from that kit where I have it kitted up with my spare drills so that I could finish this one. And some of those spare drills are not great either, because when I very first started keeping spares, I kept everything. You know, when I very first started diamond painting, I didn't really understand the difference between good quality drills and not. I mean, to me, a drill was a drill. Now I know the difference. So now I'm debating whether I want to actually finish it from my spares or whether I want to buy the drills from a different company and try out a different company. There are, I think, 4 or 5 different companies that you can buy drills for these Heaven and Earth designs. You can, I think, buy them from, what do they recommend? Cooper, Diamonds. I think I got a quote from, not DP with Sparklers, Diamond Drills USA was who I got it from. You can buy them from Jada Gem Shop. And there's probably, you could probably buy drills on AliExpress, or, you know, anybody that sells diamond paintings might be able to do a custom like this for you. But like I said, a Murphy's Law kind of kit for me, kind of everything that I could think of pretty much that could go wrong did go wrong with this one. And again, super happy that I pushed myself to finish it, because I can now say that it's done. It is off my diamond painting table. It's no longer laying there kind of taunting me to finish it, because I started this one in, I want to say August of last year, maybe. So it's taken me almost a year to finish this. It might even be longer than that. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, now I don't know what to do with the other two. And the mermaid, while not as many dark colors as this one, is still kind of dark. And then the other one that I have to do, my Flapper Girl, is a lot of whites, and it's very monochromatic, a lot of white and brown. And so I'm really hesitant. Definitely would need to order drills for that one, because I know I don't have enough spares to do that particular one. But you know, when I started this one, I did the one row, and then when I finally picked it back up again, it was in the back of my mind, well, I'm going to do this one. And then once I get this one, you know, finished and it looks good, then I will leap on the other two and get them done and going. And this one was just such a slog. Some of it my own fault because I was pushing myself to get it done because I wanted to move on to another project. But yeah, just not the experience that I wanted from this. I think that's my takeaway. This was not at all the experience that I wanted, nor what I was hoping for when I ordered the stuff for this project. So a disappointment in lots of different ways, but it was a learning experience, right? So now I know what I don't want, right? That's what we can learn from our mistakes. I don't want this experience again. So what do I need to do so that I don't have it? I think I will need to consider more carefully in the future if I buy any more Heaven and Earth canvases, whether or not the canvas is actually big enough for the picture. You know, this is supposed to be, I have no idea actually how big the cross-stitch design of this is supposed to be, but you know, even the size of this one is just not big enough. I think my flapper girl might be big enough because it's a portrait and everything. I don't know if the mermaid will be big enough. I'm really kind of kicking myself. The mermaid, I got at Heaven and Earth, and my intention had been to get it from Craftably, and Craftably discontinued it before I could grab it, and I'd be really curious to see the difference in what I had planned to do a comparison of those two kits. So that's kind of out the window now. But anyway, yeah, not the experience that I wanted. You know, maybe if I just got a blank canvas from Heaven and Earth instead of getting one that was pre-printed because the symbols are so hard to see. And then, you know, running out of 17 colors, it seemed like every time I would get almost done with a section, it was like, well, I've got to go run and check my spares because I can't finish this section because I've run out of drills. You know, with all the tabs and the gapping and everything, just not the experience that I wanted. I guess that's the way to look at it. And like I said, I considered going over it with the mica powder, you know, where all the white kind of was, filling in all those gaps. But honestly, I pretty much need to do it anywhere that it's not dark greens or dark browns. Like I said, since this is not something I'm going to be framing and hanging up anyway, I'm just going to leave it as is and chalk this all up to a learning experience. Disappointing. I think that's the word. Disappointed and frustrated was how I felt when I finished this. And like I said, the further I get from it, I mean, I finished it early this morning and I'm filming this in the afternoon. My frustration is lessening as time goes by. So, you know, maybe when I pull this out in a couple of weeks or I come across it in a couple of months when I'm putting some other project away, I won't feel the same way about it. But yeah, I don't want to spend my diamond painting time being as frustrated as I was with this one. It turned out okay. It's not the worst looking kit I've ever done, but for the amount of money that I spent on it, I mean, between the canvas and the drills, it was roughly $180, $190. Could have bought a kit where everything was included, all the drills and everything else, and I feel like I would have gotten a better experience for the money that I spent. However, again, as I said, this is a learning experience, and I will definitely be taking lessons away from this. There you go, guys. That is my take on my finally finished Heaven and Earth design kit. Pegasus and the Muses. I've forgotten the artist's name. I'll throw it on the screen if I remember to do that. But yeah, just be aware before you buy a crown jewel canvas and you get it pre-printed that, and I've had other people tell me this too, that the symbols can be extremely hard to tell apart, even with a light pad. As an aside, guys, my light pad still wasn't working. It was still being a strobe light, so it is now in the trash and I will be picking up another one because I don't have time to deal with that either. That was an outside frustration in doing this. I had another light pad that I could have used that was smaller, but I just didn't. That's my experience with my Heaven and Earth design. It's not going to keep me from doing Heaven and Earth design, but I am definitely going to make sure if I buy another one that I've kind of considered all of these factors before I spend money on it. Because I kind of feel at this point that it actually makes more sense and I get more enjoyment of just buying a kit where everything is included rather than doing one like this where I've got to buy the drills separately. I don't mind buying the drills separately. It's not that. It's just more expensive. And Heaven and Earth does have lots of images that you can't get at some of the other, bigger diamond painting companies, but the reverse of that is also true. So there's plenty of diamond paintings for me to pick from. I don't have to use Heaven and Earth design if I don't want. And I think, like I said, for the foreseeable future, since I already have 2 other canvases awaiting me, it will be quite some time before I buy anything else from them. Just my 2 cents, guys. Everyone's experience is different. Your mileage may vary. That's it for today's video, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.